Yeah, good morning to all, and happy Labor Day. And it's obviously a lot of things to be pleased with from Saturday. And I know I said it in the post game, but just again, our student sections and band, cheerleaders, and fans in general were incredible. And I thought that spoke volumes to the people we're trying to convince to come join us, just that Auburn is a special, special place, and just not a lot of places in a game like that do you see that type of atmosphere throughout the entire 4 quarters. So thankful so much for our people, and especially those students. And heck, they had to be there, 6 hours or so. That's pretty incredible support. So thankful for that. A lot of good things. I'll go through Monday's the truth for our team here in a few minutes when I meet with them. And defensively, there was. I thought the effort was really, really good. I thought they ran to the football. I thought we tackled fairly well. And we were 9 of 14 3-and-outs, and we limited the explosive plays. So I thought all of that was positive. Special teams were really positive. Had a punt return, an explosive punt return, and then had a block punt for a TD. Field position battle we won. Effort was good, and we played a lot of kids on special teams, and so that was really good. And obviously the 7 touchbacks and field goal was efficient. So Towns did a really nice job for us there. Offensively, we started fast and played physical up front. Thought the effort was good there. 16 explosive plays, 9.8 yards a carry. Only had 1 penalty on offense. And just thought that was, and our red zone scoring was really good. So a lot of positives to take from there. Obviously, we have some negatives too that I'm sure you'll ask me about, and we can go over. But it was a good film to watch for our first game. Obviously, some things to clean up and get better on. Biggest thing, 2 turnovers. We can't do that, and we've got to get the ball has to be the priority.
Coach, looking forward to Cal. How much of what you've seen on tape so far that you're worried about from last year? Is your approach the same? Is this the same Cal team that you're facing? Or
defensively, it's the same. Justin Wilcox is one of the better defensive coordinators in the nation, has been for years, and Peter Sermon is with him, which both of those guys have been in Power 5 conferences for a long time and done a really nice job, and they did a great job against us last year. And so they have quite a few returners on that side, and both those defensive ends are really, really talented, 44 and 7. You've got to have a plan for those guys. Linebackers are aggressive, play hard, and athletic in the secondary. So they certainly will they play us the same exact way they did last year? I don't know, but last year they were basically saying we're going to make you have to throw the football and win some one-on-ones, and we struggled to do that some. Now we turned it over. We had some really good runs in that game, but we turned it over way too many times in it, and so we'll see. I mean, we've studied every game that they played from last year and yesterday for the most part, and this morning. They didn't do that the entire year, but that was their plan against us, and so we'll have to see. But I don't think it's going to be like it's not some mystery of what they're going to play. You know, they're going to play some even front. They're going to get in some bear, and that's kind of who they've been. And they do a really nice job. He'll have a good plan, I'm sure, and it'll be a good challenge for us to see kind of where we are offensively. Now, for our defensive staff, it is totally new coordinator, tempo, spread, empty a lot. Just it's you have one game to go on with the new coordinator, but obviously we know where he came from and can use some of that too. But it is we're going to have to get ready for tempo when they go fast, and it's. So that creates problems with communication, and we've got to make sure we're communicating very effectively. But it's they are new offensively. It's different. Big quarterback, strong, good arm, can throw it. So it'll be another challenge for us.
Do you expect Rakes to be available on Saturday? And then I think we saw Champ leave the game sort of toward the end. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, Champ has been struggling with a calf strain, and we really just want to. He probably could have played more snaps, but we just wanted to make sure we're trying to get him as healthy as possible also, and I do expect Isaiah to be ready.
Tyler gets the start, left tackle, plays a good bit. Some shuffling around. What do you think of his play and then the play of the offensive line overall on Saturday?
I thought it was solid. I thought we protected well, kept the quarterback clean, and then the run game was efficient, obviously, with 9 yards. I thought Percy's snaps were really good. Tyler made a few MAs, but overall I thought he was pretty solid, so it's good to see both of them play well.
Back left, fourth row.
Coach, your thoughts on the play of the defensive line? I know Bobby Jameson Travis got a start. Just thoughts on how he earned that job.
Yeah, we rotated a lot of guys in there and thought they were solid against the run. We didn't crush the pocket quite as well. We didn't call too many pressures really early on, and they were getting rid of the ball pretty fast, so it wasn't as bad as maybe I felt post game. But I thought the inside guys played really well.
I guess just building on what you said about the defensive line, do you if you see that rotation, kind of getting smaller, or do you think it's going to continue to see 6 to 7 guys each game?
I continue to see 6 to 7 guys in there, I hope.
Second row, Bill.
How do you feel about the young DBs Saturday? How'd they play?
We've got some improving to do. We can't panic and get so handsy. Be patient, stay in your technique, and then go play the ball. I thought there were a few good ones. J.C. Hart had a really good one. Unfortunately, he didn't. And he was beating himself up pretty good. But one thing I'll say about him is, he had that, and he turned around and made the tackle that saved them from scoring, and then we held him out of the end zone, and actually they missed a field goal too. So you don't ever quit. He gave great effort, but obviously we'd like to see him get that pick also. And he's young, but has talent. And I thought Can Lee was pretty solid. Keontae was solid for the few snaps he played. Kite was pretty decent. So safety, we got some communication things we got to get cleaned up for sure. Particularly when you roll in the young kids like Caleb and Harris and Sylvester, we're going to need them, and we got to make sure our communication gets cleaner.
Bergen and Stoltz.
Obviously, you guys used the freshman receivers a lot, and they made plays. How did you feel about them? You talked about missed assignments and just kind of the mental side. How do you think they did in their first game in that aspect?
Yeah, really good, really. There were a few routes that were a little short, but outside of that, it wasn't really any MAs, no wrong routes or. So it was pretty basic game plan. This week will be more extensive, so we've got to get some good work in today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way up. But thought they handled their first real live go in front of a lot of people. I thought they handled it really well.
I should have asked this last week, but your theme for fall camp was gratitude. Has it changed this season, and does it change by week?
Gratitude was the entire fall camp theme, and it will be an undercurrent theme for the rest of the season. But every week kind of takes this life of its own. Like last week's theme was "What's in Your Hand," and I went through, what I think is in their hands that they really have control over, and those were talent and time. Our culture's in their hands. Being coachable is in their hands, and the resources and blessings that they receive from being at Auburn is in their hands. So those are 5 things that I encourage all of us to surrender for the greater good. Yes, you're talented, but you have 0 chance at winning a game by yourself. And who cares if you don't get as many touches as you want? We won. We should celebrate together. You should celebrate for your teammates. And that's a constant battle with this idea of I need mine, and I get all of that. But great teams, truthfully, they surrender that to the greater good for the team. And time, I think, is always a challenge for most people, not just players, of, if I'm using my time wisely, what does that look like? And it's the temptation today, I think, is for so many that you have idle time and you spend it doing things that aren't profitable for you long term. Obviously, the culture is in their hands, and I think the greatest thing we can do for each other in culture is have positive peer pressure that's created from within the locker room. And when you empower those players to have that, and they do it the right way, I think it's very, very uncomfortable to not be a part of that. Coachable, obviously, there it is. Can I coach you hard and you receive it and still know that I still care about you? And then resources, obviously, they're blessed with scholarships and some financial money and all of those things. And obviously, we want to give back. And we were able to, last week, we have Auburn for Others, and we finally have it in Alabama, and many of them decided to give portions of their NIL along with resources that Jill and I provide for this to meet the needs of 13 families in the state of Alabama to help keep their children out of the foster care system. And that's something I'm really, really proud of our kids that said, Coach, I want to help and be a part of that. And I hope that continues to grow throughout the year as we continue to meet needs in the state of Alabama for the orphan and foster care systems.
Second row, right?
Coach, how do you feel like the capability of your offense was to score in such a multitude of ways, and does that impact your game planning going forward, knowing that you have options? I don't think there's any substitute for confidence. And if our kids believe in the game plan and believe that the plays that are going to get dialed up are solid, good calls, that our guys have a chance to win and make explosive plays like we did Saturday night, I think that's great. And we took a step in that direction. It's going to be more challenging as you move forward against, more equitable competition. And we're working hard this morning on trying to figure out what that looks like for us this week and what our young kids can handle. Because us coaches, we get in there and we got 1,000 things on the board that all look good, but that's impossible for that to all be a part of it. So I think that's the greatest challenge we have right now is let's hone in on the things that we know they can do and maybe present different pictures of how we get there. And hopefully that'll continue to grow confidence in that, and we can add more and more as we move forward.
Third row, right?
Coach, there were a few times on Saturday where even after good plays, you were on Peyton pretty hard, and you talked about it a little bit Saturday night about, just seeing things differently, especially against better competition. Have you had a chance to talk to him yet about any of those things? And if you haven't, what are you going to tell him?
Oh yeah, I talked to him right after the play on the sidelines. But and now we got those iPads over there where I can
or Jesse, if I'm busy or if there's a timeout, I go and say, do you see what I see? And Peyton can take the hard coaching. I wish the camera wasn't on me all the time, and my wife got on me about one of those, but it was a third down play that I know how critical those downs are in coming weeks, and I expect him to get those right, and I think that's a positive that he should take. Is if I didn't believe he should get those right, I wouldn't be quite as upset, but I expect him to get that right 95% of the time on certain things that I was upset with the other night. I was only really upset one time. I was frustrated a few others on, and he still made good throws and made a touchdown or whatever, but he didn't get himself protected like he's supposed to, and I don't want him taking unnecessary hits. And I've made it clear I believe in him. And with that, though, comes the expectation that if I know we have thoroughly discussed something, then the expectation is you get that right. He handles that fine.
Come on back.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to get your overall thoughts on the performance of Hake Brown, and obviously when the competition steps up, if he is thrusted into the starting position, do you have confidence that he could lead the offense as capable as Peyton has?
I'm confident in him. The guy's a gamer. I think he was 3 of 5, and with one drop right in the hand, so he should have been 4 for 5. And when the RPO was supposed to be thrown, he threw it. When it was supposed to be handed off, he handed it off. And we weren't calling a plethora of things at that point, but the things that got called, he was 100% on execution. So confident. Holden missed one. Other than that, he executed well. So I'm confident.
Coach, obviously similar position to last year, a big win heading into this Cal game. Offense take a step back in that game. Does this feel like a moment, especially for that unit, to show the difference from last year to this year? And you spoke about confidence earlier. Where is that confidence with this unit, especially winning those one-on-ones?
Well, they're really confident right now, I'm sure. After Saturday, we'll see. I think your initial statement is exactly accurate, and I won't run from that. That here's your chance, our chance, not just them, us too as coaches, but here's our chance to prove we can be a fundamentally efficient scoring machine, and against who I think plays really good defensive football. So it'll be a really good test for us.
Front row left, Bill.
You have been a head coach twice in the SEC and twice in the Group of 5. Could you just talk about the difference in those two levels as far as a coach, as a head coach?
Game planning is the same, other than at this level, they're bigger and faster. And it made, like, we better have a plan for 44 and 7. That may not be the case in every Group of 5 that you play, but I don't think there's much difference really in the game planning, the play calling, and the fronts. There's only so many defenses you can run, so many offenses you can face, and I think coaches are all good. There's good coaches at every level that have their kids prepared. It's just you get in this league and it's bigger and faster and stronger, and you got to make sure your calls make sense with matchups, particularly in critical downs. Well, recruiting's a beast. Yeah, totally different. Yeah, that's the biggest difference. You just nailed it. Recruiting is it is a nonstop, never-ending battle in this league. Even if you have great commitments like we do, it's just it's a battle. It's not near the same at a Group of 5 with that, for sure.
Take a few follow-ups.
Coach, you said repeatedly in the fall that at some point the tape has to become the resume. After looking at the tape from Saturday, did any guys take any steps? I know Malcolm started. Did he do well enough to maybe earn the start versus Cal, or what other guys stood out?
Yeah, I want to say this again about starting. I don't care. I don't care if it's Malcolm that started. He started because we had a specific play. Robert probably is going to start most games because of the experience, but it literally is a free rotation between Robert, Malcolm, and Sam at that slot position, and rotating those outside guys between Perry and Dre and Cam and Camden and Caleb. We feel confident. So I don't want any of them playing tired. If they have to run a streak route and it's an incomplete pass or something, they shouldn't be in there the next play. So it's really, I'm not as caught up on who's running out there first. Malcolm did because, again, we felt like his skill set was best for that play. And but that doesn't mean that I deem him in a role over Robert or over Sam.
I'm sorry, Coach. Is that the same for the rotation on the offensive line with the stuff you said you were trying to figure out there?
No, O-line's quite different than receivers. Receivers free rotate, but when we start a possession with the O-line, they're going to roll that possession. And do I want to keep them fresh? Yes, and rotate some bodies, but that's kind of pre-planned. Like, hey, the third series we're going to do these subs. It's not quite like the receivers where, play in, play out. You could have a different guy out there.
You mentioned how this Cal defense is very comparable to last year. Do you, at any point this week, go have a chat with Sam Jackson about some of that, or is that not something you're going to do?
I may talk to him, but I see what they're doing and I think I have a good feel for what they've done. You don't know exactly when they're going to do it, but I know when we put 12 personnel out there, this is kind of, defensive guys don't change too much as far as this is how you treat 12 personnel as opposed to 11 personnel or 10 personnel. And now your fronts could be quite different, but I don't know that Sam would have an idea of when they're going to get in the bare front or when they're going to get in an even front. And but I'm sure probably our defensive guys would talk to him more than I would.
Take two more.
Hugh, what do you think of the linebacker play? Looked like those guys had a pretty strong game. Aaron Dorian and then Robert Woodyard has been a guy that's continued to produce. What did you see out of those guys Saturday?
I thought they tackled well. I thought our drops in zone need work. But I thought they played hard and they tackled well. But we got to work on our pass drops for sure.
Hugh, with Keontae almost housed that punt return, stepped out of bounds. How comfortable are you with him being your primary guy at punt return, knowing that he's, one of your key defensive guys this season as well, and he's had some injuries?
Yeah. We need him back there. He's dynamic and has proven he can change field position for us. So, we want to get him as healthy as possible, but we need him back there for sure. I thought Dre was solid at catching it, so was Upton. But Keontae has proven he can change the field position back there.
Coach, thank you.